Hello there, Semperfi once again, bringing you part 2 to Semperfi or Die, the 9th chapter of my Crysis 2 Super Soldier difficulty video walkthrough. And this is, we're bridging the gap of whereabouts the halfway margin of this game is. And the levels from now on are going to start getting considerably longer, because the last few really stretch on out there. But when you move down here, this is kind of quiet, this bit, but as you push forward, to my right, which you can't really see, there's going to be some Ceph that spawn there, directly in front of me. I think I've just spotted them. Yeah, there we go, I've spotted them. And the best thing to do is to snipe them from a distance, because they're dumb as fuck at this range, they don't know who's shooting them. And that right there is, I think, a mortar attack that they can do at you, because I've seen it hit pretty close to me and do some damage, so be careful of that, because that's kind of gay. It's kind of reminiscent of the new Mass Effect 2 Arrival DLC. There's these enemies that throw what look like flashbang grenades at you, and they will take your shield instantly down and hurt you. They're 8-bitch grenades. They were doing my dick in when I was playing it, but this guy gets a little close, so, you know, just for his convenience, I decided to stick a knife in his neck, and luckily enough that the Ceph are so far away they can't see me do that. But if you come down here, there's a bunch of trash and trailers and things, and just sit behind them so that you can get your stealth back. And then you just have to push down the road where those Ceph are standing, and you will reunite with your team. So just time your shots if you can, get the headshots, and you'll notice you've got a headshot because it'll do the lovely splash of a liquid, which is the pinky Ghostbusters goo. And I could have ignored this guy, because watch him, he's coming for me, he fucking knows I'm here. It's full on bombing it. And I could just ignore him. But I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, look at that! How did he know I were there? But anyhow, it all ends the same. He loses his face and I'm jamming a fresh magazine in my scar. So pick up the nano catalysts or whatever they are and just keep on pushing forward. And this is another surprisingly somber road where we don't kill many things. It must be for us to reflect on all the misdeeds we've done through the game, all the lives we've squandered, but yeah, there's no threat on here. You run pretty much to the end, and you're going to be seeing your team pretty soon, so which is kind of cool. And this next section coming up looks like it's going to be hard, but once again it's another false pretense, because it really isn't. If you sit in the right place, you can defend this dropship quite simply. But keep moving on, keep waiting for the waypoint to adjust, and make your way down here. Whee! There you go. I find it interesting that circle only turns up when you do fall damage to yourself. It's never there for any other interaction in the game. It's a kind of interesting choice. It might show up on the multiplayer when you game friendly fired or something like that. One would think it'd have more purposes than just the fall damage mechanic. But when you come through here, there's your checkpoint. And that's the chopper showing you that you're going to be close to your mates. And when you drop down here, you should start seeing a couple of Marines. So here they are. So refill your ammo. And as soon as you pass the Marines, the Ceph will start spawning. And it's time to, you know, get medieval on their asses. Push through the red smoke and keep pushing upwards. And this next section is not too bad. What I like to do on here is, this field in front of me to my left is where the Ceph are going to spawn. If you come across here, you can fight the geometry enough to jump over things, but bear in mind there are certain areas of the ship that the game does not want you to stand on, and it will forcibly move you, so just be careful of that. And up here you have the luxury of sniping all the Ceph as they land, and they're all too busy looking at your team so that you can just use the height advantage and noob tube them. And it's pretty effective, the noob tube on this game, because obviously this is the computer, so we don't have to fight fair. And I've got no qualms against using it against AI. But just try and get it as close to the squids as you can, and it'll generally nail one or two of them. It's pretty effective. And then once that's done, if you whip your sniper rifle out, you should be able to clean up whoever's left. And there next to the ammo cache is some more C4, so make sure you grab that. And it's just shoot dudes, just clean dudes up, just, you know, play the game as you want to play it. And I do like the reload action for this gun. It's got some nice animations, this game. So just fire away, try and get headshots, even though they're slippery bastards when it comes to trying to do it. But yeah, on the side of a ship, that's a hell of a lot. I mean, where could this ship have come from? That's what I was trying to figure out when I was playing. It's like, we're in a creek, and this creek doesn't look like it's had that much rainfall for quite some time. And to the right of us is a city, so it's not like it's fell off a roof. So it makes me wonder where the hell this thing came from. So how can there just be a boat sat on the side of a highway? Maybe the Ceph picked it up with one of their spaceships and like fired it or something, or maybe there was an explosion somewhere that threw it. No idea, but for whatever reason we've got this lovely cruise liner just sat in the middle of like this park. But when the dropships come in, make sure you use your armor, because if you don't, they'll kill you super quick. And if you come through here, remember where that is, because that's a grenade launcher, and there's your sniper refill. And what's going to happen now is there's going to be a couple waves of guys that are going to drop in. They're going to be just the normal Ceph, there's going to be a couple, I think there's one or two brutes, and there's going to be a couple of gunships that swing round to lay suppressing fire. And you have to just sit here on this like embankment and defend. And it generally involves just killing everything you see, waiting a few seconds, killing everything you see. Then once you've done it, you're going to get attacked by a gunship that you can actually kill, and then you just have to take that down, and then that is effectively the end of the level. So we've got 7 minutes of pure action coming up, and if you stay in these spots where I go, you shouldn't have any problems. I will say one thing, midway through I get a little anxious because I want to pick up the 500 nano catalysts that the big guy drops, and I end up running down into no man's land. And if you're not interested, don't follow what I do, just stay up here and stay safe, and you shouldn't die whatsoever on this section. Because I've played it twice now on Super Soldier and I haven't died yet, so if that doesn't build your confidence, I don't know what will. And there is a lovely mounted gun here if you want to utilise it. Obviously burst fire is the way to go because this thing is really inaccurate. And right there I had a little stes fit trying to get off it because I'm so used to having to hold a button to drop a turret, and on this game it's instant. When you press it, he just drops it. And I really like that. That's a feature that a lot of games get wrong. The way to concerned about giving weight to your actions, to making it seem like you're truly interacting with the world, and you lose a lot of response from your actions, a lot of feedback that makes you feel like you're doing a fluid action. But if you start taking any fire, you can crouch down behind these metal barricades. They will give you suitable cover, and if you start getting lit up like I was then, make sure you use your armor. Even though you're on a turret, you can still use your abilities. And just use your superior position to take them out. You'll see where they spawn because the dropships drop in. Right there, I'm looking to see if there's anything I can upgrade, and I can't. Nothing's worth it at the moment. Just noob tube away. You can even double tap Y and put your grenades on and start tossing some of them if you want to. Just, enjoy yourself. Do what you can. And I've got quite a lot of commentary in front of me because there's another 10 of these videos that I've got to do. I'm thinking that new Mass Effect DLC is going to be maybe 4 or 5 videos because it is a good few hours. I say a few hours, it's about 2 hours, and that'll break down maybe into 5 or 6 videos, something along those lines. All depending on if I trim the conversation trees out and things like that, but I don't know if that's going to bug people because Mass Effect is full of talking. It's just like Fallout for that. And when you trim the conversations out, people generally get pissed off. Which is weird because they should be playing it themselves. But on top of that, I've recorded I think 12 chapters or 10 chapters of Castlevania Lord of Shadows on the night difficulty. I'm about 2 chapters away from finishing the guide, and truth be told, there I go again with my favourite word of the day, it isn't too bad. Whoa, goodness me, sorry about that once again. What can I say, I've got leprosy. But yeah, it's not too bad, that game, when you get towards the end, because it starts getting really short. The levels and the chapters have got smaller amounts of sections to them. And the last chapter is just one level and it's taking on Satan, and it's fucking gay and easy, so that's not too bad. But I've had a lot more fun with that guide than I thought I would, so that's been a nice little undertaking for me. And I'm hoping it does kind of well on the site, because it is fun to watch that game. It's a pretty game. Which is bad English, and it's also a Dead Poetic song. But yeah, it's fun to watch, and there's some interesting fights in it. And what I've also done on that guide, because I had to do it on the difficulty below the one I wanted, I've kind of penalised myself so that I don't use the abilities that the game gives you. I don't use the magic to heal myself or the magic to become strong. And what I've laid down is the only times I'm going to use the magic to heal myself is if I'm stuck on a boss that's got an awkward checkpoint, or if that noise where it keeps doing the beep, beep, beep when your heart's beating when you've got really small life, if that starts to piss me off, then I'll heal myself. For every other situation, I don't use the magic to make myself more powerful, or the healing magic, so it should make it a little bit more interesting and a little better strategy wise for people that are struggling with the game. Because the only thing that changes on Castlevania with difficulty is how much damage the enemies take and how much they give. So the only difference between the difficulty that my guide is and the difficulty above that is they have a little bit more life and they do a little bit more damage. The regression, the way they fight, is the exact same, because I've even played that game on the easiest difficulty and the enemies attack you just as frequently as they do on Paladin, because I've played a lot of the game on the hardest difficulty and there's not much difference at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that one up. And this is the gunship that you've got to kill, so just shoot it wherever you can. As you see, I finished it off with the Scar, so every gun will work. Just bide your time and, you know, kick it in the balls. And then once that's done, just follow your waypoint and that's another chapter down. But when I break away from university for the summer, I'm going to be trying to keep up with all the more recent titles that come up and getting guides for them and commentaries and things like that. I'm even going to be doing some lesser known titles when I get them on my rental list. And I'm just going to be trying to flesh out my channel as best I can so that I've got so much content on it, it's unbelievable. And if anybody that does have any kind of power and influence on YouTube drops onto my channel, there'll be so much quality there that they can almost do nothing but promote me, which would be fucking awesome. But if you keep moving down here, there's another bit of exposition explaining that I'm the only thing that can stop this outbreak, even though the dude's a complete fucking liar. And just keep pushing on. That was a dog tag, by the way, that's one of the collectibles. I actually picked that one up. I'm not too sure why I did that, I just got a little bit impulsive. But I'm probably going to do some of the multiplayer for this, because I'm going to try it out. I do think the multiplayer is not going to be my cup of tea. Another overly English expression. My main reason for that is purely because it seems to be people going invisible, and that kind of stuff infuriates me. But once again guys, thanks for watching the guide, I hope it helps, and you take care now.